Hello, guys, and welcome to another solo episode of the Clarity Project. I am working on getting some more guests in, and so I am very excited about that. And hopefully, they pull through. This little thing is called an Ono roller, and it is for ADHD. Holy cow! It is like the holy grail of ADHD gadgets. It's silent and it feels so natural in your hand. It's so smooth. You can and oh my god, it's I forget if it's aluminum. I think it's made out of aluminum, and when it's cold outside, or sometimes I think I've only done it one time. I've put it in the fridge, and taking it out, it just feels so good in your hands when it's freshly cold. Anyways, that is just a little ramble of what this little gadget tinkery thing that I use pretty often is, and I have learned that maybe watching movies or going into movies with some of my friends is not the best option. See, and here's the thing is I'm not too versed in current events or what's happening around or what are the hot new movies or TV shows. I mean, if they're the hot ones, then yes, I am well versed in those, but not what goes on in them or what the story is in those movies. And so it's happened a couple of times where some of my friends will tell me, especially if it's like a meme. For example, the Morbius. Archie, what are you doing, Archie? If you come to cause, wow. Have you come to cause some trouble? Like always. Anyways, a good example is Morbius. My friends told me, "Oh my gosh, we gotta watch Morbius. We gotta get to the scene where he says it's Morbin time, right?" And so I had some friends over at my apartment one day, and they were like, "Let's watch Morbius." I was like, "Ooh, okay," because I was excited to finally see the meme of it's Morbin time, and we're all relaxing, we're all watching the movie, and I was waiting for that one scene. So throughout the whole movie, I was eager in anticipation for this one scene where Morbius says, "It's Morbin time." The movie passes, and I'm like, "Wait up, did I miss something? Wait. Let's go back. Wait. Let's go back. Where's that one scene?" And then I soon find out that there is no scene where he says it's Morbin time, and I'm like, "What the heck, you guys?" I completely believe them, and it was just like it was a huge bummer because I had watched this movie in full anticipation of watching that one scene. There's another instance where I was watching one of the Sonic movies, the one I think it was Sonic 3. I don't remember the one with Shadow, and this is with different friends. But one of them tells me, he through like before we were watching it, like throughout the whole day before we were watching it, he kept repeating the phrase, "Chaos Control," and of course. I know Shadow as a character. I mean, I love Sonic as a child, and so I know Shadow as a character. I know that's one of his lines, and so of course, going into this movie, I was highly eager to watch this scene where he finally says the words "Chaos Control," and lo and behold, we watch the whole movie, and there is no scene. Man, it's so upsetting, but I hope I don't think that's a lesson I'll ever learn. I honestly, I don't. If it's a movie, I'll watch it once, and if the scene doesn't happen, then okay. But I will be upset that it didn't happen, to be honest. However, some of the lessons that I have learned, and this is my 10th or my 11th episode, so I've already done the first 10, and it's been a very, very fun journey of doing this podcast. I had made myself an initial goal of sticking with it for about 6 months, and The first like 2 months were just me like doing some ideation and trying to like figure out what I want to do with the whole podcast. And then I finally got it off the ground, and I've had a couple of guests. I've done a lot of solo episodes so far. And I do want to do some more guest episodes and get some more people on here to share their stories. So that way, if any of you can relate to any of these people and any of their journeys can give you some sort of clarity in your own life, then I would really love that. But these are just some of the things that I've learned throughout the past 10 episodes, whether it be personal or from hearing other people's stories or what they have to say. And having ADHD, I've done a lot of research so far, especially going into this podcast, because I knew that I wanted it to have a sort of ADHD note to it. And there are a lot of things that reinforce your own brain being against you. Like time management. You suck at knowing exactly how much time has passed, and you can't properly manage your time. First of all, time management is such a huge thing because, I mean, first of all, we only have 24 hours in a day. And you're expecting me to manage that 24 hours in a day? I mean, of course you are, right? But of course, my brain physically, mentally cannot. I mean, there are ways to work with it. There are ways to work around it, such as timers, calendar, or what's the term? It's called like time blocking. There we go. The gears are turning there. But time blocking, alarms, and all of these things help with time management. When I'm time blocking, I give myself leeway for extra time in between the different things that I'm doing. Just because every now and then I know that I need a break. And sometimes I'll bleed my work into the next time block, but that's fine. That is completely fine. At least for me it is. At least at the moment it is. Another thing I've learned is that our emotional part of the brain just kind of overtakes us sometimes. And when that happens, we, as people with ADHD, can't help but be overwhelmed by these emotional factors. And these emotional factors are overbearing us and causing us to really hone in the hyper focus. When we are emotionally overwhelmed, we are essentially hyper focusing on the emotions. And when that happens, it doesn't allow us to focus on other things, which can be really, really detrimental to us. And holy cow, there is just a lot of things that are. And after like learning about all these things, it does pain me to say that it kind of leaves me in a very, very sour mood when I'm reading up on all these different things that are so detrimental to us. And it really makes me kind of frustrated and sad and just upset about what I have to deal with. And that is one of the reasons why I've decided to make this podcast, is because I know that it sucks to, first of all, just deal with everyday life. And I want to bring people in here to share their own stories and their struggles and their workarounds and be able to provide any sort of solace or any sort of pathway to the other side, per se. Another thing I've learned throughout these past 10 episodes is it takes a lot more time and effort to get the things that you'd want, especially if you want something to be of quality, out. Like, I'm only doing weekly episodes, and right now that is all I can manage. And sometimes I am struggling. Like, sometimes I won't get the video recorded until the weekend. And so for for context, I have been posting consistently every week for the past 10 weeks, every Wednesday. Sometimes I like record the weekend. I will be really rushing to get the editing done the next 2 days, next 3 days. And then also worrying about the social media. What am I going to post? What's the title going to be? The thumbnail, the description. But, I mean, so far I've been doing good. So far I've been doing great. It's a personal project that I don't want to just toss aside. Something that I don't want to end up in the graveyard of personal projects. Because this is something I really, really want, and it's something that I've thought about, and it's something that I've kind of dreamed about for the past, I don't know how long. I mean, it's just being able to create something that provides value and helps people out is something that I've been wanting for a long time now. And I'm finally putting in the work, effort, ideas, thoughts, time, all of that into something. So me and a very good friend had a conversation last night because he had just recently gone on vacation to Europe, and after coming back he's felt kind of at a low point, receding from the high of the vacation. And he has these personal projects he's wanted to work on for a while, such as fixing out a 3D printer and joining a club, but he hasn't been able to, or he hasn't done it. I actually literally told him, I was like, hey, one of these weekends, me and you are going to work on that printer. We're going to get it fixed, and then we're going to print some shit out. We'll work on it. But I also told him, hey, we'll figure something out for the club. He does spend a lot of his time gaming with old high school friends, which, by the way, I love that. I mean, I really do wish I spent more time with those old high school friends. They are great, phenomenal people, but I don't put the bandwidth into gaming as much anymore and more into personal projects because I just can't stay still. I just can't. And I need to be just doing something that fulfills my personal, I guess, not purpose, but something that I would like to do for others. And I told him, look, just do some personal projects, do something that you want to do. And I think that really is all that it boils down to, is just find something that you want to do, work on it, and be consistent with it. I feel like the moment I stopped doing this podcast, I really don't know what I would do. Like, would I just lay around watching TV? I don't want to do that. I've done it before. I mean, I've had moments where I just, for a whole week, I would rot and do nothing and just watch TV. I've binged the Harry Potter movies in 3 days. That is quite a feat for me. Anyways, now that that's done, I was telling him, this is my personal belief, is that as long as you find something that you really enjoy and you work on it consistently, it doesn't even have to be like something that you put out to the world. It can be something personal. I think just finding something that you find fulfillment in can help alleviate a lot of the thoughts that he's been having. And he wants to get more into photography. I said, hey, just literally create an account and start posting shit. Literally. Even if no one watches. I mean, I've done 10 episodes and I don't think I even have one viewer. But I'm still posting because this is something that I enjoy. And who knows, maybe in the next month, I'll finally get a viewer. Maybe in the next 2 months, I'll get 3. And who knows, maybe in a year's time, I'll have, let me guess. Since I decided this would be a 6-month project at first, let me guess where I'll be at in 6 months. I think I will be at, well, first of all, let's do 4 times 6, 24 episodes. I'll be at 24 episodes. right? And I will guess that I will have, let's see, probably 150 listens. I'll have, I think the same thing as downloads. I think that's the same thing as downloads. I'll have 150 downloads. Subscribers, I'll probably have like 25 new subscribers in at the 6 months period, which is April, May, June, July, August, September, October. I'll have 25 subscribers, and that is my guess. Let's see let's see how I end up, and I'll come back to this. I will. I'll make a note of it. Actually, let's make a note of it now, because now I'm just rambling. Just the past 2.5 months that I've been doing this, and I was talking to my cousin this past weekend about a lot of things. I mean, me and him can go back and forth for hours, and it's phenomenal that we can, because we are so much alike and we think the same, and it's great to have someone who has the same mentality as you. And we were talking about like a lot of different things. One of the things is we met I want to say near Olympian, right, in rock climbing, and honestly, phenomenal. That day was just phenomenal. I mean, first of all, we did volunteering with an organization that does rock climbing for children with special needs, and I really enjoyed spending time with those kids. I mean, it was great to see them climbing on the wall. It was great to see them. So they have activities there for the children as well. And there was this one girl who I was hanging out with, and we spent 10 minutes just doing the same action over and over, and I loved every second of it. It was great. And then watching them climb and enjoy the whole process of it all and enjoy being there, it was just fantastic. And then we did climbing, and we met I wouldn't say she's an Olympian, but holy cow, she was really good. I would say she has the potential to be an Olympian. And she showed us her routine, and afterwards, me and my cousin just were talking about, first of all, the opportunity to be able to talk with someone at that caliber. And so my cousin's father gives him a lot of like workout advice, and a lot of the things that she does is things that my cousin's father would tell him. And he was talking about how actually seeing someone of that caliber and listening to their routine that his father would tell him about, it's eye-opening. Like the difference of having someone tell you this works versus having someone who's already done the work and is at such a high caliber say, this is what worked for me, when they're both the same thing, is such a different perspective shift. Because now you are seeing this person who has achieved these great things say the exact same things that has worked for them versus someone else, and the average person saying this does work. And it's just like, boom, whoa. Okay, so now that I've seen the results of all this hard work, I can finally justify this routine that this other person had told me about that does work. It's kind of like, oh man, it's so mind-boggling. Talking with those people, those rock climbers, was just a phenomenal experience, and I've learned about now it's what rock climbing and what I can do to become a better rock climber. I know I may be talking about rock climbing a lot over the past couple of weeks, but that's because I've just gotten back into it after a 4-month break, and I am really excited, and it is something that I really, really enjoy. But a couple of other things that I've learned is when you saturate yourself with things that will drive you towards who you want to be, when you immerse yourself in these ideas, these thoughts, thought patterns, and people, you are essentially reinforcing the person that you want to become. Something that I've realized is when I'm starting to get to a low like energy level and just feeling like everything is lost. I find that when I spend time with the people that I know wish the best for me, that I know will push me to grow, that I know will challenge me mentally, physically, I, after spending time with them, I feel so revitalized. I feel so much more full of energy, and I feel ready to take on any new challenge, and it just feels like I'm ready to go once again. I was in Dallas this past week, and hello, Archie. Oh, Bob, I see you. I was in Dallas this past week, and I've been on a 4 month hiatus from rock climbing just because of the move and just trying to figure out the move and everything. And when I was in Dallas, I went rock climbing 4 times out of the week. Oh my gosh. I had forgotten how much fun it was, and spending time with one of my best friends up there, who, first of all, is going to challenge me to do harder routes. It's going to challenge me mentally with some questions that I don't even think about for myself, or just about the world in general. And it brings me so much joy to spend time with people like that, because it allows me to kind of gather myself and prepare for the next steps. Whoa, buddy! Come on, buddy. Woo. Woo. Whoa, 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 whoa! And so that is one thing that I've learned that I really enjoy doing, especially when I'm having dull moments, is going on these trips with these people, specific people who will push me to become the best version of myself. And because that is exactly what I want, and they know that's exactly what I want, and they will push me in ways, ask me just the right questions, get me thinking about things, and I absolutely love that. And I was also spending time with my cousin, and talking with him this past week was just phenomenal, because I've learned things that I didn't know before. I'm sure he's learned things that he didn't know before, and it was just a perfect combination of two people wanting to better themselves. And I'll be honest, I kind of pushed him more than he pushed me. And I was kind of selfish with his time, which honestly, I loved that I did that. It was such a great experience for both him and me, and I don't regret that I did it, because I feel like he learned a lot doing what I had set out for him to do, and it was just a fun time in general for the both of us. And I've learned that spending time with the right people for me is so energizing, so revitalizing, that it brings me back sort of to a grounded state, and a state that allows me to grow even further. And so these are just some of the things that I have learned. And if you guys want to share anything that you've learned, please do. I would love to hear some of the things you've learned, and if any of them I can apply to myself, my day-to-day life, I would love to. And I appreciate you guys. If you listen, great. If you don't listen, you should. But thank you guys very, very much. I will see you next time.